Hello, dear students. During last lecture, we have completed the formation of steam and their properties. And at the end, I told you that while attending the next lecture, you keep with you a steam table with molar diagram, that book. So, which is available of different authors in market. So, I hope that book is with you, and today we see the introduction of this steam table, how actually the steam table is used, and I have told you that the properties, because every time in practice the condition is not same, so different pressures, different temperatures are there, and at that different conditions we have to determine the properties of the steam. Every time it is not possible to do the experiments and find out the values, but some authors and some researchers conducted number of experiments and made available that properties at different pressures and temperatures for our use. So that values which made available for us are in the tabular form, and that book is called as a steam table. Okay, so this is the front page of that booklet. Now we see actually how this booklet is. This is in SI unit. Now this is something about this author and preface of this booklet, and actually we have to see what is the introduction of this booklet. So these are some additional pages there. So here they have given introduction to steam table. Now you see here introduction to steam table and molar diagram. So first we start with the definition. So already I told you that steam is the vapor form of water and is invisible when pure and dry. Okay? It does not obey the laws of perfect gases until it is perfectly dry. Because we know that during formation of steam, the steam may be wet steam. Some water particles may be suspended in it. Such a steam does not obey the gas laws, or it does not obey as a perfect gas. So until it is perfectly dry. When the dry steam is further heated, it behaves more or less like a perfect gas. The steam is generally used as a working substance in the operation of steam engine and steam turbine. So this already I told you. So same is written here. Now the procedure for formation of steam I already explained with the help of the diagrams during last lecture. So once again you can repeat this. The formation of steam takes place when they continuously heat the water from any temperature in the following stages. First, the volume of water slightly increases with the increase in temperature. So that means initially we have shown that as a Vf, but after some volume of water which is taken, initially we call it as a Vf, but after some time, after some addition of heat, there is a slight change in volume of that water. A remarkable not change is there in volume of that water. So in calculations this value is neglected. So same is written here. The volume of water slightly increases with the increase in temperature, but this increase is generally neglected for all types of calculations. Second, on further heating, the temperature of water reaches the boiling point. The boiling point depends upon the pressure of that water. The boiling temperature of pure steam at normal atmospheric pressure of 1.013 bar, that is 1.03 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per meter square, or 1.013 into 10 raised to 2 kilonewton per meter square, also known as 1.013 into 10 raised to 5 kilopascal, is 100 degrees centigrade or 373 Kelvin, but it increases with increase in pressure. So this is important. The boiling point of water increases with increase in pressure, and these are the some values. So this 100 degrees centigrade boiling point of water is at given atmospheric pressure, and that atmospheric pressure is 1.013 bar, and it is expressed in different units as shown here. Now, after boiling point, the temperature remains constant, but the water starts evaporating and the volume of steam starts increasing. At this stage, the steam has some water particles in suspension, and it is called the wet steam. So already we have seen the definition of wet steam. This process continues till the whole water is converted into steam. Next, on further heating, the temperature of wet steam remains constant and all the water particles in suspension are converted into steam. At this stage, the steam is called a dry saturated steam. So if there is no any water particles in suspension, such a steam is called as a dry saturated steam. On further heating, the temperature of dry saturated steam starts increasing and it obeys the laws of perfect gases. At this stage, the steam is called a superheated steam. As a matter of fact, the superheated steam is used as a working substance in operation of steam engine and steam tables. Okay, so this I have explained already in class during with the help of that 5 diagrams during last lecture, and just here it is written in the sentence form. Now next is properties of steam. So already we have seen these properties also. The following properties of steam are always needed for the calculation of its various parameters which are required in the operation of steam engines and steam turbines. Some important properties which are required are, once again we can repeat here. First, specific volume of steam. Specific volume of steam. It is the volume occupied by steam per unit mass at a given temperature and pressure. Once again you listen. It is the volume occupied by the steam per unit mass at a given temperature and pressure. It is expressed in meter cube per kg and is the reciprocal of the density of the steam. Okay. So specific volume of steam is the reciprocal of density of the steam. The specific volume of steam increases. So this sentence is important. In MCQ, in number of times the question may be on this sentence. The specific volume of steam increases with the increase in temperature and decreases with the decrease in pressure. Once again you see, the specific volume of steam increases with the increase in temperature and decrease with the increase in pressure. Specific enthalpy of steam. It is the total heat absorbed by the steam per unit mass from the freezing point of water, that is 0 degree centigrade or 273 Kelvin, to the saturation temperature. So what is saturation temperature or atmospheric pressure? 100 degree centigrade or 373 Kelvin, plus the heat absorbed during evaporation. It is expressed in kilojoules per kg. The specific enthalpy of steam increases with the increase in temperature and pressure. So you clearly try to understand what is specific enthalpy of steam. So once again I read, it is the total heat absorbed by the steam per unit mass from freezing point of water to the saturation temperature plus the heat absorbed during evaporation. It is expressed in kilojoules per kg. The specific enthalpy of steam increases with the increase in temperature and pressure. So this sentence important. The specific enthalpy of steam increases with the increase in temperature and pressure. Now next is specific entropy, because we are learning the topic specific entropy. So this term is important. So already we know what is entropy. It is a theoretical value of heat energy. It is a theoretical value of heat energy which cannot be transformed into mechanical work under the given conditions of temperature or pressure. It is called a degree of disorder of the system. The most common term used is the change of entropy. So already I told you it is very tedious to define the entropy, but it is very easy to define the change in entropy. The most common term used is the change of entropy, which is mathematically given by ds is equal to dq by dt, or it is nothing but heat supplied divided by temperature of the system. It is expressed in kilojoules per kg Kelvin. This specific entropy of steam decreases. So this sentence in the specific entropy of steam decreases with increase in pressure and temperature. Okay. So these are some important properties. Already we have seen what is latent heat, sensible heat, heat of superheat, then specific volume, all these terms. Now what is the actual steam table? Now we have to see what actually steam table is there. See, it is given here. The various properties of steam, such as specific volume, specific enthalpy, specific entropy of dry saturated steam and superheated steam vary with the variation of temperature and pressure. These values were carefully determined by observations and calculations first in FPS system and were made available in tabular form known as a steam table. Later on, these values were converted into MKS units and then into SI units. Due to conversion and rounding of the figures, there is a slight difference in the figures quoted in different books. Even some of the authors have changed their values in different editions of the same book. However, in this steam table, the author has quoted standard figures which are widely accepted and internationally recognized. So that means there is a slight change in same book of same author because of the rounding off and some other technical problems, or there is a slight change in values from author to author also. Okay. There are two important steam tables. One of them is based in terms of temperature and the other in terms of pressure. So pressure based steam table and temperature based steam table, these are the two steam tables. It is generally practiced to give the following tables for some important values. Okay. So actually here the four are mentioned. Four types of values or steam tables are there. But from our subject point of view, supercritical steam table is not useful for this level to us. So first three are important: saturated water and steam temperature steam table, saturated water and steam pressure table, and superheated steam table. And fourth one is a supercritical steam table. So first three are important from our subject point of view. Now fifth, now actually how that steam table, first I will show all the steam table to you and how that steam table is used to do the calculations. Today we are today I am going to explain with the examples. So you see that first saturated water and steam temperature based steam table. So that means first column is a temperature and other columns are there. In steam table, what are the different columns? If temperature based steam table is there, the first column is a temperature, then corresponding absolute pressure in bar, then specific volume, that is VF, so that means initial volume of the water before heating, and Fg, the volume of dry steam, then specific enthalpy in kilojoules per kg, HF, that is sensible heat, evaporation or heat of evaporation HFG, and total heat of a dry steam is Hg. Similarly, specific entropy in kilojoules per kg. So SF, specific entropy or entropy of sensible heat, evaporation entropy, SF, SFG, and total entropy of a dry steam, that is Hg. So these are the some columns in the steam table. So here this one abstract of steam table is there. It contains values of absolute pressure. So you see, it contains values of absolute pressure in bar, specific volume in meter cube per kg, specific enthalpy in kilojoules per kg, and specific entropy in kilojoules per kg from 0 degree centigrade to 374.15 degree. So 374.15 degree is the critical temperature. So the values from 0 degree centigrade to critical point, all the values, their corresponding pressures, their corresponding volume of water, their volume of dry steam, then specific enthalpies, then specific entropies are given in this tabular form. A sample of this steam table is given here. Now first we see what are the three steam tables. So next is a superheated steam table, and before that, so this is supercritical steam table is not useful. So one more important point is Moeller diagram. So we see Moeller diagram in next or some other lecture. So now you see that these are the contents of this steam table. Rules for SI unit, introduction to steam table and Moeller diagram, then saturated water and steam temperature, saturated water and steam temperature table. So 1 to 6 pages. So in this way different steam tables are given. So just I am going to scroll. First you see, so this is a steam table. You see table number 1. What this table number 1 is? Saturated water and steam temperature tables. So you see that first column is the temperature. So it is started with. So previously that table is abstract, and here it is a steam table actually which starts from 0 degree. So why it is called as a temperature base? Because first column is a temperature and their corresponding values are given. There are corresponding absolute pressures, then Vf, Vg, HF, HFG, Hg, SF, SFG and Sg. All these are given in these columns. So this steam table which starts from 0 degree. So you see that 1, 2 continuously, and this ends. So you see that continuation is there. Then up to 0 degree centigrade to critical temperature. So critical temperature. So you see that. So continuously the various temperatures are taken and the corresponding values are incorporated in this tabular form. So this is a temperature based steam table which starts from 0 degree centigrade to the critical temperature, and all corresponding values are given here. Now next is pressure base. You see that table number 2, pressure base. So that means first column is pressure. So again you see that first column is a pressure which starts from 0.0061 bar and their corresponding temperatures. Then again same sequence, Vf, Vg, HF, HFG, then Hg, SF, SFG and Sg. So again here this steam table starts from the initial pressure of 0.0061 bar to their critical pressure. So we know that what is the critical pressure? So their values are given. So that critical pressures are up to that critical pressure, these values are incorporated. So you see that 221.2. So starting from 0.0061 to 2212 point bar. In between, all pressures are taken into consideration and the values are made available in this tabular form. So this is the pressure based steam table. Okay. Similarly, third is specific volume of superheated steam. Specific volumes of superheated steam. So specific volume in meter cube per kg at various temperatures. At various temperatures, these values are given. Now you see that specific absolute pressures and their specific values at different temperatures. So absolute pressure in bar, that values are given. Their corresponding saturation temperature is given, and what are the specific values at different temperatures in degree centigrade. So that is shown here. Okay, here they have taken the temperature up to 800 degrees centigrade. So that means this is the third TIMS table, specific, and it will give specific volume of superheated steam okay, for the corresponding pressures and their saturation temperatures and their corresponding values in for different temperatures. So this table will start from 0.02 bar pressure, and I think it is ends with again critical pressure and critical temperature. So corresponding, because we know that correspondingly the at critical point sudden formation or sudden change of water to the steam is there, and this is something about this steam table. Similarly, here next table is a specific enthalpy of superheated steam. Specific enthalpy of superheated steam. So specific enthalpy H in kilojoules per kg for various temperatures. So their values are shown here, and again the starts from same pressure up to the critical pressure. So these are the some types of steam tables. Okay. Now fifth steam table is a specific entropy of superheated steam. So from this we have to take specific entropies, same that is starts from the same pressure up to critical pressure and their saturation temperatures and corresponding these specific entropy values for different temperatures, that is shown here. So this is something about this steam table. Now this ends the something about the steam table and introduction of the steam table. So today we stop here. Next time actually we can solve the problems with the help of this steam table. Once again I request while attending the next lecture, those who are not with steam table, they keep the steam table with them. Thank you.